Hello everyone, my name is Tony Dinsdale. I am the software product manager for Census Analytics and Customer Portal. I've been with Census 2 years now. First year I spent on field tools, and then last year I transitioned over to ownership of the analytics platform. So today, what I'd like to do is we're going to talk about the product highlights and the values from a homeowner's perspective for Customer Portal. We're going to cover the value for the utility and the key features, and then we're going to talk about some considerations when you're marketing your Customer Portal. So how many people actually are leveraging some kind of portal at their utility today? Okay, great. How many people use a portal at home with whatever utility that you are a customer of? Okay, terrific. So you have some experience with portals. So you might be coming here today saying, these are some of the reasons that a homeowner might use a Customer Portal. They've updated and changed user settings without contacting the utility. They can do this on their own. They can set up additional alerts to help monitor usage. They can set up notifications when they're on vacation. And they can manage their rental properties and make decisions about maybe making a rate change. They can tailor the experience based on their own personal preferences. And I'll let you read some of the other ones. You can manage multiple meters. You can monitor usage against tiered rates. So there's an overlay in the product that I'll show you. Pay utility bills with a secure pay bill link. So this is a great way that you can do single sign-on between your system and the portal. So I'll cover all of these as we move through the next few slides. Let's just talk about the sign-in page. So when you log into Portal, from a customer experience, this is the first thing you see. And what's great about this page is that it can be branded to whatever your utility is. So you can have your own logo, you can change out the background, you can put your own support URL right there on the home page, and you can also do your sign-in from here. Wait a minute, I'm skipping a slide. Sorry, I feel like I've skipped a slide. Sorry about that, guys. So once you sign in, you go straight to the dashboard. And as a user, what you can see is everything is in a nice kind of widget and laid out very succinctly. Now, depending on what type of utility you are, you'll see different widgets, different features. So the outdoor watering widget obviously doesn't work for electric companies. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to have an outdoor watering widget if you're an electric company. But what you're going to notice is the branding has come through, and at the top you get your bill pay link, your support link. You can toggle between English or Spanish, and we do offer additional features to upload other languages. So that is a nice feature if in the home the first language isn't English and someone wants to translate a little differently. That feature is really great. You're going to see the billing cycle usage widget, which overlay, that has the tier overlay on it, so that you can see your usage and you're starting to move into the next tier. You can see alerts and notifications. Alerts can be set by the customer, or they can be set by the utility. And then notifications come directly from the utility. They can be scheduled. They can come on demand. We'll talk a little bit more about that. Then you're going to see your threshold down the bottom, and that's based upon your own user settings. All right, so let's just break down that page just a little bit. I talked about a couple of these. So on the top nav, you can review account information all in one location. You're going to see your name as it appears on your account. You're going to have your utility URLs, again, configurable for whatever utility that you're at. You're going to have your language change out. And then we have a really neat feature called meter nickname. A lot of people laugh, why would you nickname your meter? Well, if you have 5 meters, one's your irrigation meter, one is your beach property in North Carolina, one is your beach property in California, and the other is your residential. I think that's only 4, but go along with me here. But you only have to remember the number once. You go in, you set the nickname, it keeps it. Every time you log in, it's a nickname, so you don't have to remember that your irrigation meter ends in 0257. So it is a nice feature. It's the small things that make a big difference when you're in the user seat. We have usage details. This, I feel, is one of the best benefits to the portal because you can see your daily usage. You can break it down by hourly, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and it's overlaid for water with both temperature and rainfall usage coming from the weather service. So it's integrated with our weather service. So what this helps a customer do is say, I have a high bill, what's going on? You go here, you can look at a given day, you can see what the temperature and the rainfall was, and in drought areas or in really warm areas, what we'll find is it'll drive a conversation with the customer service rep, or it'll trigger something in the homeowner's mind to say, that's the day it was 102, and we decided to run the sprinkler for the kids for a couple hours. Or that's the day I filled the pool. And I remember that weekend we used a lot of water. So this helps the customer themselves see where their data is, what it can do, what the usage is, right down to the hour. I want to tell you a story about a customer we had who was looking at this, and he had a high bill, and they thought they had a leak. And we looked at all the data, the utility looked, couldn't find anything. So we started to dig into this usage chart, and we started to dig into the time of day where he was having all this water use. Well, we were finding between the hours of 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. high usage. And he's like, I sleep between those hours. Checked every toilet, nothing's running. He has no idea what's going on. Well, he decides one night that he's going to stay up. And he stays up at 1 a.m. And all of a sudden, he hears the water spigot outside go on. And he's like, what is going on? Well, his neighbor is filling his pool every night for a couple hours, running his hose over, filling his pool, and putting it back. Right? And this poor man's like, this helped really pinpoint when is this water running, what's happening, where's that usage. Right? Crazy stories, real stories just like that. Another example I like to use for this, and it ties to our notification feature, but if you have parents that maybe live out of state, and you're helping manage some of their bills, or just kind of keeping an eye on their house from afar, they're still living in it, you can set up to get usage alerts. And you can look at their portal, and you can start noticing, hey, I'm noticing you're using a lot of water, or I'm seeing your usage is going up. Is the toilet running? Or did you happen to leave the hose on? Did you guys forget? Right? So little tools just kind of help you pinpoint some information. It's always great for drought and managing during irrigation, and conservation times, right? You think you're using less water, and you start to look and you're like, I'm still using quite a bit of water, and I'm using more than I'm supposed to be using. So we also have a meter details where this is for every single meter that you have in your account. You can go in and you can look at the details. It shows the dashboard, it shows your alarms and your alerts that are coming in. You can see the usage as of today, and you can see the billing cycle. Each one of these you can set up notifications for. So we have usage alerts. We have 5 different types of usage alerts. So we have the rate tier alert, the vacation alert, the multi-day alert, the usage alert, and then the billing cycle alert. And you can set these on each of the meters, and you can also have them email yourself, send a notification, send an alarm to the portal, or email someone else. So if you're on vacation, and maybe you're just completely out of the country, you don't want to deal with it, someone else, you don't want anyone going into the house, like, check off for leaks, right? But if they start to see usage, or they said, hey, you turned your irrigation system off while you were gone, something's still running, it just triggers them to go over. And then you can also see the tiers are varied. So maybe you're okay with paying tier 2 pricing, but once you start to move to 3, you're like, okay, I really gotta watch it. This is a great tool too for the kids. They're home for the summer, and how many showers a day are they taking, right? You can show them, it's real. So when you're on that dashboard, going back to that very first dashboard, and you look at the alerts, the feature in the alerts allows for you to keep them running, so they'll stay as long as you possibly want them there. Or what you can do is just close them or dismiss them. And if you dismiss them, you can see that the numbers reduce. So again, this isn't the consumers. This is all the consumers are doing this. Utility is not involved in any of this at all. The consumer is making the decision. They're going to decide, all right, you sent me 40 alerts, or I set up 40 alerts. What do I want to do with it? So they have a lot of control here. Billing cycle usage. I love this little chart. I love the visuals that we have because this is very powerful. So just having that graph or that chart, right, to just the gauge to be able to see where you're tracking against what you put in and what you feel you're comfortable using. So again, you can set them up for each of the meters that you have. You can enable them and disable them as much as you want. And that shows you the percentage consumed against your tracking. Alert recipients, I've talked a little bit about this already, but you can see the power of this. So you have the choice to send an alert through an email or a text and on your water meters for any one of those. So you can have multiple, you can just do one at a time. It's entirely up to you. You can choose not to be alerted at all, and you can just be an active, a user that likes to just go in and out. Maybe you check your stuff daily, maybe it's a weekly thing. But alert notification is really helpful because a lot of people just kind of forget to go logging in, right? We go to Facebook all the time. It's like the first thing. You get up, you go to Facebook, you check your messages, whatever. Do you go check your water usage? Probably not, right? But when something's happening, I want to know before I get a leak, before I get the high bill. And again, when the kids come home from college, I better check some stuff, right? So you get yourself into a habit and a cadence. And in your marketing materials, you can talk about this. We'll talk about that in a little bit. User settings. So if you are in the utility, the last thing you want to do is manage someone else's software. The last thing you want to do is have people calling you saying, can you reset my password? Or I have a different email. It is all self-service in the portal itself. No one calls the utility. They can do that all online, all by themselves. They can take choice. They can decide if they want the text message. They can turn things on and off. This is a huge feature. You don't think it's a big benefit, but it's nice and handy, and you're not taking those calls. You don't have to worry about it. This feature is one of the features I love because often we assume customers think like utility users. And everybody's like, yes, I'm going to measure in the smallest measurement possible humanly of water and energy. And a customer's like, I think about water in gallons. Can we just look at it in gallons? So the user can choose whatever they want, whatever resonates with them. If they want to see it in Celsius or in Fahrenheit. So they can switch this for themselves. They can reset the default. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to do all this stuff and they're going to call me and ask me a question, and I'm not going to know what they did with their portal. But I have an answer for that, so hold that thought. Notification set up by users. By utilities. So you go into SA, and we have a section where you literally can set up a notification to send out to a specific user or a group of users. You create the group. We use device groups that we already offer in SA. You create your groups, and you can send out any type of notification you want. I mentioned earlier they can be scheduled. So maybe you have some work being done next month. You guys are going to take, maybe they're going to replace a transformer. So you say from December 1st to December 15th, there's going to be a planned outage in your area, or we have work in your area. You may have intermittent outages. Please be advised, if you have any questions, you can call this number. Or you might have had a water main break, and it's immediate in a specific area. You go to the device group that you've set up, you push a notification and say, there's a water main break in your area, we're aware of the issue, we are working on it, ETA, another update, I'll send you another update in another 2 hours. And it shows immediately in the portal. So this is a great communication feature of our portal because they also expire on their own. So if you set up a notification, you can set the end date, so you don't have to worry about going back on December 15th and turning that off. It's going to happen for you. So you don't have to remember all the time. It's going to do some of that for you. I mentioned texting and email. You can also send by the way, you haven't paid your bill 30 days late. Could you please go to the portal, go to the link at the top of this page, and please go pay your bill. So you can use it in that way as well. You can get really creative with these. Yes, it's supported on mobile view. So each of those tiles, and it's a very simplified view for the customer. We don't want to give them just all this data. They're not a utility. They don't understand it. We want to keep it very simplified for them. So what we do is each one of those widgets will show. Just scroll up. They can do everything that they can do online through their mobile device. So what is the value to the homeowner? When you're thinking about portals, you have to think of it in two different ways. The value to the homeowner and the value to the utility. And when you're doing your marketing campaigns, you want to keep that in mind as well. So I mentioned it's 100% self-service, and it is. It is. Once it's out there, you get your marketing rolled up, you get signed in, very little effort on the utility side. They have a better understanding of usage and costs, most definitely, at a snapshot. That's the best part. Right at a snapshot, it's right there. Access 24/7, portals up all the time. It uses data from Census Analytics from your AMI system. So it's there and it's up all the time. You can view and export usage trends. So say you have somebody that's really into the data, because you always have that consumer. You always have somebody that is run and report. They just want all the data. They can download it, and they can run all their Excel spreadsheets, and they can track it. Maybe when they sell the house, they're going to give them that big packet of information and be like, this is what water usage is at my house, buy my house. I've seen somebody do that with oil changes and gas mileage. I'm not kidding. He was an accountant, very detailed, but he kept every record. But you can do that with the portal, and you can do it by billing cycle. Monitoring rental. I personally don't have a beach rental. I would love to, and I talk about it all the time in the portal. But if I did, one of the things that I've heard is people can go back and look at the trend on their rental, and you can see, you know what, the rental house is actually using way more water than we thought it was going to use, or maybe we need just the seasonal rate to go up. But you can make good decisions based on that. Or maybe it's the other way. You know, we're not using a lot of water. Maybe we can give people a break and do a little bit of discounting during the off season. Modify to save usage. Oh, I can say that over and over and over again. Setting the custom thresholds and receiving notifications. It is another communication channel that is invaluable to the utility. So let's talk about the value and the key features for the utility. So put your other hat on now. So now you're not the consumer, you're not the person using it, you're in the office, and you're saying, why should a utility encourage use of the portal? This is going to be key to some of your marketing campaigns. Why are you going to tell customers that they should use it? Well, they can view the notifications, increase customer satisfaction, reduce late payments. We all are looking for ways to get our money on time and sooner, raise awareness around conservation, gain additional support to the field to help monitor and escalate issues. If a customer can call you first with a leak, that's even better. More eyes on the problem, right? You're not the only person trying to find leaks and looking for leaks. Customers are saying, hey, something's going on. So it's more eyes, more boots on the ground, eyes on the problem. You can help your customer base evolve into a paperless bill pay situation. So think of this for a second. If you decided to put your bill pay link in your portal, and you had to log on as a customer, your customer has to log on to portal to go pay their bill and drive traffic through your portal that way, and they can do bill pay through the portal, you're going to start to encourage more online usage and drive down some of your paperless needs. So let's talk about this, the branding. So there's an admin feature in SA specific to portal where you can do your branding, uploading a background image, you can upload some languages, and you can do your terms and conditions. It's all configurable. Now usually at implementation, they'll get you all set up with an image, with a brand out of the gate. So we'll do a lot of the setup as part of the install. But some folks like to do maybe seasonal backgrounds. Maybe you have a centennial in your town. Maybe you want to drive, maybe you do a big fair every year and you want to change the background on your portal. You can do that. It does not say, it's not Census's portal, it is your portal. And that's one of the great features because it looks like it is your portal and you're driving all the changes. So you have access to do this. So this is where the logo is, the support URL, and the terms and condition. Now I talked a little bit about terms and conditions. We're seeing utilities use terms and conditions a little bit differently. You can have an optional acknowledgement here for terms and conditions. What we're seeing utilities do is put in some very specific language that states if you're accepting, by logging in and creating an account, you're accepting some responsibility for monitoring your own system, for looking at your usage, detecting leaks, paying bills, staying within conservation efforts. So it puts some of that onus back on the customer to be part of the solution, to be part of the program. And so it comes in really helpful when you have a customer that's signed up for Portal, they have access to see the information, they're using usage maybe in a tier 4, and they're like, why is my bill so high? And it's like, well, if you opened your portal and just looked at the dashboard, they don't even have to go hunting for it, it would become really clear. Account setup. So we do have authorization. You can set up different credentials. We do have security features that are embedded. So it's secure. We work with you to see if you want to have a two keys authentication, whatever you'd like. You can help pick. We do that at implementation. And we do have the single sign-on feature. I mentioned the notifications. This is what it looks like, that you can schedule them. You can put them in different languages. You can send them, have a start and end date. I covered that already. And then this answers the question about, oh my gosh, they have set up their portal, they have done all of these things, and they call me and say, why is my usage threshold in the red? I don't know what happened. And you're saying, I have no idea what usage threshold you set up. If they have registered for a portal in Device Access, in SA's Device Access app, they will have this customer portal button. You will have it. Customer service reps will have it. You can click on it, and you get a read-only view of exactly what they set up and can navigate all around and see everything that they can see. You just can't make updates. It's their portal, not yours technically. But that's how you can help. And so this is huge because you're not running blind when you do get a call, if you get a call. And you can help walk them through. So the value to the utility is it helps the customers help themselves, decrease the routine calls, enhance customer satisfaction, reduce loss revenue. I'm not going to read each of these line items. Promotes the online paperless billing. So if you just pause for a moment, you think about it, right? It's two sides. You have to think like your customer, and you have to think of the utility benefits. And that's really going to help. That leads us right into considerations for marketing. We've had some really interesting success stories for our portal. I talked to Seal Rock today. They rolled out their portal in February, and they already have a 17% adoption rate, which is great out of the gate, right? So your marketing material and your marketing approach is critical to your success. We recommend that you talk about all the product highlights. You got to share the highlights with the customer, but think like a customer. They don't care that they don't have to call in anymore, right? Well, they might, but they're more focused on, why do I even want to use this thing? One of the benefits is that it's leveraging your existing data. You do not have to send in separate feeds. We're using all your AMI data. We're just using it in a different way. We're showing some of it, not all of it. We have a feature in the portal where you can choose a start date when you want to start showing customer data. It's for everyone. So say that you have about 5 years worth of data. You've had some challenges with data accuracy. You put in your AMI system. Things are running smoother now. You really want to say, okay, we had our AMI system up and running on January 1st. That's when I want my portal data to start showing for my customer. That's when we really went to smart metering. That's when we started using FlexNet. You can do that. You can talk about it being integrated with weather data, mobile friendly. These are just some of the high-level bullet points. You want to ensure that the features are meaningful to the homeowner. They don't care that you're saving money, truly. They want to feel like they're saving money. They're like, yeah, you put in this expensive FlexNet system. What does it mean to me? It means a lot. And it really starts to say, I can share a lot more information with you. So these are all the different features, just a bulleted list of what I just went over. It needs to be a multi-year rollout. What we're starting to find now that we're kind of rocking and rolling with the portal, right, is that people are coming strong out of the gate with their marketing material, and they're like, yeah, we had a portal. They're really advertising it. And then it slows down, and then they have somewhat of a program for new customers, but they mention it, or they don't force them to sign up. And then the customers that kind of miss the first go-around never get hit again, right? So you got to think multi-year. You got to think strong out of the gate, the types of materials that are going to resonate for your customers, whether it be YouTube videos. I've seen City of Fairmont has one of the funniest YouTube videos I've seen rolling out Portal. Just go out on YouTube and City of Fairmont, West Virginia. And it's not for everybody. I'm going to tell you that right out of the gate. This is not for every town. But it resonated with their customers and explained exactly how to roll out the portal, what to do with it, how to use it. It's just this funny tongue-in-cheek thing, but it hit the mark. It hit the mark for them, and they've done a couple videos. We also had Park West had done, Cedar Park had done a huge marketing campaign. Nanette came last year and spoke about that at Reach last year. And like I just mentioned, Seal Rock had just done a campaign. So they use a variety of Facebook. They're using door tags. They're using business cards, little mini business cards. They're creating taglines, specific URLs that make it very memorable for their customer base. Making a contest. First 25 people to sign up get maybe a town calendar. I don't know, right? Whatever works for you guys. But then you got to think, I've been out a year. How am I going to catch my next group now of users? You have to remind them. So one of the things I recommend, because I went seeking this on my own personal bills, is I went to every utility bill that I had, and I went to the back of my paper statement, and I looked for reference to the portal. I couldn't find any. I was like, oh man. I was like, I know they all have portals. But you had to really think about all your marketing end to end. Put it on the back of the billing statement. Sign up for the portal. Maybe it's another tag. Maybe it's just another insert. Maybe, again, at the town, whatever town celebration you're having. Really pump the portal. And that is what I have.